Yeah.
Yeah, it's great here. I live about a mile from the beach.
My oldest daughter says the same thing.
Wait a minute, does she live in Pensacola?
Yes, she does.
Oh yeah, I like Pensacola.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Patricia, tell me what's going on in your world.
Well, right now I'm working from home.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Just wanting to try to, get some more, strategies on, working for sale by owners. I'm fairly a new agent, 2.5 years now. Been with EXP since April.
Okay. Before we start, I'm glad you said that. We have one rule for this webinar. You are not allowed to say what brokerage you're with.
Okay.
Because there are going to be people that are on here from different brokerages, so that I don't want anybody to feel like they're going to try to be recruited by anybody. So let's just leave the brokerage out.
Okay.
So even if you give little code words like KB Core or revenue share, we'll know what you're talking about.
Okay.
All right, somebody's texting me. Can you send me the link to get to the webinar? Oh my God. Okay, so let's start with Irene. Denise, can you send
Brenda?
Yes, the link to get in?
Yes, I will.
Thank you.
I sure will.
Irene, how long have you been in the business?
2.5 years.
Awesome. And why are you here?
Why I am here?
Other than that you paid for
it. To look for what you have said. It sounds very interesting. And I'm a learner by nature, so I always look forward to new and different perspectives.
Okay, awesome.
That's why I'm here, to learn something new.
Well, I hope you learn at least one thing and make that big $50 fee that you paid worth it for you.
And you know what? Your description of the course had convinced me that I will learn something new pretty much every time.
Awesome. Okay, Susan, why are you here again? Again, oh my God.
Because I am such a slow learner. It's just, it takes so much time.
Just so that y'all know, Susan and I know each other very well, so there probably will be many times that she'll be muted because she talks too much. Okay, Carlo, why are you here?
Well, I've been in the business 22 years, and believe it or not, I think my second or third year, I pretty much devoted much of my time and much of my income that came in was because of for sale by owners. But what attracted me to join this webinar was the fact that you seem to have a more automated way of doing it. Of course, I was doing this back in 97, 98, 99, making $50, $70, $90,000 on for sale by owners alone. So I already know a lot of I'm sure what you're going to present, but what I don't have is your systems and strategies. And what attracted me most was, you're talking hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of leads and possible video and so on and so forth. And I like that. It's all cutting.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Gary, why are you here?
Primarily because it's easy to get for sale by owners phone numbers, and it's difficult to find phone numbers unless you buy them from lead companies. And so I think this is a good, easy way to contact somebody with a house to sell.
Okay, just on that note, I'm going to just go ahead and say this and go ahead and get it out of the way. If you are paying for leads, you're dumb. If you walk away from these 4 weeks that we're going to go over and you're still paying for leads.
What happened?
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Repeat.
I said you should never pay for leads. After this 4 weeks, you should never ever have to pay for leads for the rest of your life if you do what I show you to do. Now, technology could change on us, which it has since I've been in the business. I've been doing this for 18 years, but we'll just deal with that as we go along. I don't think technology is going to change much in the next 5 years when you see the way that I'm doing this. But if it does, I'll deal with that at that time. But I will be on the cutting edge of technology to find ways to get free leads. I've never paid for leads in my life. I've been in business for 32 years. I've been in real estate for 18 years. I will not pay for leads ever. And Denise, you're coming on again. Unbelievable. Okay, Patricia, why are you here?
Are you speaking to me? Because you had asked me before.
Patricia, oh, I did. I'm sorry. Okay, Denise, talk to me. The real Denise, not the fake Denise.
The real Denise. Okay. All right. The reason I am here actually is just sort of to tighten up, you know, how I work for sub-owners. I've been in the business actually a little over 23 years, and I really just want to, you know, tighten up and, you know, get down a specific system. I've worked a number of for sale by owners, so I know how it works, but I also like to learn from, you know, other people and see, you know, tighten what I do.
Awesome. Okay, Terry, how about you?
Well, I've been in a couple of your live classes over the years, and kind of like Susan, I would like to find out what else, what you said before, if it's the same, and learn something new and different to see what I can do in 19 that might be a little different.
Awesome. Okay, James?
All right, so I'm here. Actually, I work for sale by owners as well. I'm just trying to, you know, look at a new perspective, tighten up my skill set. I train agents as well out here. I'm a mentor, so I'm always looking to sharpen my skill, better my things, and I don't know, was that me?
I think so. Okay. Who is it?
Sorry, that's me.
No.
I'm trying to get on the computer.
Okay. Yeah, if you're real loud, I'm going to mute you.
Yeah.
Joseph Lamb, why are you here? And we can't see you. You're gray.
Yeah, I have a sore throat. That's why I closed mine there. So we'll come back later. But I am actually coming back to real estate, try to do a little bit more after semi-retirement. So, but I don't want to work with buyer as much. So I think FSBO will be good to me to zero targeting in. I don't really want to do what I used to do everywhere, marketing to everywhere. So I'm just want to very specific. These are the people wanted to sell. So
Okay.
you want to sell, I'm help them.
All right, Brenda, how about you? Brenda, can you hear me? Yo, Brenda. Okay, Brenda can't hear us. So I'm going to go straight into screen share. I'm going to show you a couple of things. Try to go easy on the questions and answers because it's now 10:11. So I'm going to do a screen share real quick. Can everybody see my screen? Yes?
Yes.
No?
Yes.
Okay. So what we're looking at here is a wonderful website, which is one of my favorite. It's called Craigslist. Now, for many of you, you might be using Craigslist to do a search for sale by owners, but this is one of the places that I'm getting for sale by owners. So let's pick a state that we can do a search in. Let's pick, Irene, since you were on first, we're going to pick beautiful Colorado, party capital of the world. So, Irene, what's the biggest city in Colorado?
Oh, goodness gracious. Let's do Denver then.
Okay. Now, here's a question that I want to ask each of you first before I move on to this. In the states that you're licensed in, are any of you selling only in your city, but not in other cities.
So with me, and so Denver in actuality is really small. So we have a Denver metro area that's comprised of what, 7, 8 cities.
So in relationship to the state, if we're looking at the state here, Denver is where? In the middle?
Yeah.
Okay. So are you selling to anybody at the top of the state?
No.
Are you selling to anybody in the bottom of the state?
Colorado Springs.
Okay, so you are licensed in the entire state of Colorado, not just in Denver. Is that right?
Correct, yes.
So if you're
However,
licensed,
the MLS, our MLS splits between the different regions. So we have different MLSs.
if you're licensed in the entire state, but you're not selling in the entire state, how much business are you losing because you're not going after other cities in the entire state? Think about that for just a minute. So you're probably thinking, well, we don't have access. Well, I'm going to show you how you're missing a market that you're not going after, because I'm licensed in Texas. So since I am licensed in Texas, that means that I can take a listing anywhere in Texas, not just in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So when I show y'all this, I want you to think bigger than what you're thinking, because most of you are only going after listings in your immediate city. You got to think bigger, and you got to think about how you can go after for sale by owners in the entire state. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a search on real estate for sale. And then I'm going to do real estate by owner. And then I'm going to do a price range of, say, 100,000. That would
There's no 100,000. Let's try with 350. And
un momento. Un momento. We're going to do minimum 100,000. We're going to do minimum 2-bedroom. And square footage, I don't care about square footage. We're going to do housing type of condos, cabins, duplexes, flats, houses, townhouses. We're not going to do manufactured housing because I don't want to do mobile homes. Now you can set this search up however you want to do it. It's up to you.
Okay.
And now we hit update search. Now, I don't know if y'all can see this number here. What does that number say right there where my mouse is?
565.
565 listings just in the Denver area. Just in Denver. I haven't even done a search in the other cities in Colorado. And you have access to this, by the way. You don't have to pay for this. So what you do is you click on the listing and you notice that there's the information. Contact info. Hold on. Where's it at? Okay, hold on. It's looking. Okay, there we go. And it gives me Jason's number, 720. I bet you that's a realtor or it's an investor. BuyColoradoHouseFast.com is probably an investor. So you're probably thinking, okay, I don't have time to go through and look at every individual listing. Nobody does. So here's what you do. You do a save search. And you got to set up an account with Craigslist and you set up a search. These are searches that I've set up in different areas: Wichita Falls, Waco, Austin, Abilene, Daytona Beach, Dallas, Panama City Beach, and here's Denver. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and I'm going to edit this search. So I want to be notified by email. Make sure that you've got this thing set up as real estate by owner. And I'm going to set up a search. You see that? Now let me tell you what happens. Then, since I'm licensed in the entire state, and I know only some of y'all are only licensed in the city that you sell in, you're not licensed in the entire state. That was being facetious, by the way. I'm going to set up searches in the entire state for all for sale by owners. And I'm going to set up a saved search. And then every day, I'm going to go to my emails and I'm going to save this in a special folder in my emails. And it's automatically going to come to me every day as listings are posted on Craigslist. And so every day I'm going to go here and I'm going to add these people to my list. And this happens automatically because I set up a search for different parts of Texas or different parts of Colorado or different parts of Michigan, wherever, and I'm going to get notified every time a listing hits the state of Texas. Okay, any questions on that real quick? Patricia, you've got a confused look on your face.
Oh, no, well, I'm not really confused. I was just wondering, okay, so once you get these email notifications, are you still creating like a spreadsheet that you have to actually manually go in and, copy and paste this information?
Great question. So there's a program that I'm going to show you now that's going to create a spreadsheet for me. So I'll tell you the name of this program. I want y'all to guess how much this program costs me. Susan, you're not allowed to answer because you know the answer to this.
You're probably going to say free.
No, it's not free.
Oh.
This one does cost money.
Okay.
When I saw this program, a mortgage guy showed me this and he goes, guess how much this costs? I said, dude, I would pay $200 a month for this kind of program. Mm-hmm. And he said, no, it costs. So hold on, let me show you what it does. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up this search. Let's call it FSBO Michigan. Let's pick on the Michigan people today. And then I'm going to go to the beautiful state of Michigan, party capital of the world. And I'm going to do a search on every friggin' city in Michigan. Now, Carla, you can sell on the entire state, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Not just in Detroit.
Correct.
The whole state.
Correct.
Do you normally get listings in the entire state?
No.
Why not?
Geographical, constraints, unless you're going to show me something different, which I believe you are.
Yes, I am. Okay, so then you click the entire friggin' state because your license says that you can sell in the whole state. Then you go to real estate by owner. And then we're going to click on, we want to see ads in Craigslist, Zillow, Backpage, and that's probably about it. So what I'm doing is I'm setting up a search of everything that comes up that's posted. Somebody is loud. I'll tell you what, if y'all would mute yourself real quick. Ooh, somebody's having a party. Oh my God, Susan, mute yourself. Is that you? Okay. So I'm going to set up this search, and I want to look at postings within the last day, just the last day. Now, this is a program. The name of the program is called Cubix Solutions. Go to Cubix, C-U-B-I-X, Solutions, LOSUTIONS.com. CubixSolutions.com. Okay, notice the green over here. That means it's still searching. Just in the last day, so far, we have 447 leads that it's given me. That's a lot of leads. That's in one day, by the way. Anybody got any questions so far while we're waiting on this thing to finish searching?
Well, I just went to the website and I'm looking at the price. Is that for real?
What does it say?
It said $29.87 a year.
Good morning.
What in the world? Now that I can afford.
I can afford that too. That's why I bought it. When I got this program, I could not believe it was $29. So I sent an email to the owner who's in someplace like Finland.
What?
I said, are y'all crazy? You could charge $200 for this program easy. And he goes,
I'm paying like $30 a month right now.
oh my God, let me come slap you.
Well, you know, you don't know when you don't know, okay?
I know. So you're gonna cancel that, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay, good answer. You should never pay for. Look at okay. So we're finished with just 1 day search in Michigan. 1 day. 480 leads of for sale by owners. These could be investors, which we can go after investors. I don't know if y'all do, but I do. I'm going to go after investors. And then look at what you get. I'm pulling Craigslist. I'm pulling Zillow. All these listings. And I remember that if you want to, you can go in and edit your search on here so that you don't pull up $20,000 listings. So what you can do is you can edit this thing and you can put minimum 100,000. You can edit the whole search completely. And so you let this thing run in the background or just let it start at the beginning of the day. Then after you click on the ones that you want, let's say that you like these right here. Okay, so you clicked on those, you go, okay, cool. I want to go after these listings. See this little deal right here? That's the trash. Don't hit that one. You're going to delete them. See this one right here? This is called export. And what happens is it's going to export information. And then it's going to say only selected items. And I'm going to say yes. So and then it's going to say, okay, so what do you want in your Excel spreadsheet? I don't care about the date. I do want the price. I want the location. I want to know the category. I don't need the stock number or color. And I want email address. I don't care about Craigslist email, but if there's any personal email addresses, I want those. Give me the phone number. Give me the zip. Give me the URL for the ad, so that if I need to go back and look at the ad, I can go click on it later. And give me the caption. Then once I hit export, it's going to give me an Excel spreadsheet. From Excel, then you can save it as a CSV file, download the CSV file into whatever program you're using, and start calling these people. One of the classes that we're going to go through is a system where you can call 200 people per hour. Per hour. I can go through 1,000 for sale by owners in 1 day.
Wow.
One day. I can call all of them in one day. If I don't get them, I'll leave a voicemail. And my voicemail is pre-recorded so that when I get the voicemail, it's going to leave my pre-recorded voicemail on their voicemail. Does that make sense?
That's sweet.
Okay. So, if you're not going to pay for the $29, then you can go the long way and do your search through Craigslist and do it that way. Do them individually. I would pay $29 and get this program.
Oh, yeah. I would too.
I think it's well worth the money. And, you know, usually at Christmas time, I always ask my kids what they want for Christmas. And I remember years ago when iPhones first came out, they said, we want an iPhone. And I'm thinking, I ain't spending $500 or $600 for an iPhone. So I went to Craigslist. I set up a search for iPhones, and I started doing a search for iPhones on Craigslist. I mean, within an hour, I had it narrowed down to the 20 ads that I wanted to call to see if I can get a used iPhone for my kids. You can use this for anything. I don't care what you do. If you want to look for investors, this is the thing to do. If you want to look for new construction, this is the thing to do. If you want to do commercial real estate, Craigslist is your answer. This program right here.
So, Robert, I have a quick question.
Yes, ma'am.
So with using this program, I would not necessarily have to start with Craigslist. I can just come to this program?
Yep.
Okay.
What's the program name again? Because it didn't come up for me. Cubix, C-U-B-I-X Solutions.
Hold on, let me pull it up. Make sure this is it. C-U-B-I-X S-O-L.
Okay, it came up for me.
Did y'all get it? There it is.
Yeah, I got it.
It's C-U-B-I-X. Hold on. There it is. Can y'all see that? Whoa, hello. What happened? Good morning. Oh, there we go.
Yep, I got it.
I-X.
CubixSolutions.com.
Amazing.
I just put it in the chat box.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, right. Thank you. No, it went away.
Okay. Now, let me just tell you all this. Many of you have stayed away from for sale by owners. And the reason that you've stayed away from them is because you don't have enough people to call and you don't know what to say when you call them. So if we can solve both of those problems, going after for sale by owners should be a simple thing for you. So my goal is to, number one, give you a source of where to get unlimited number of names and telephone numbers so that you never have to run out of them. Here's the problem that I've seen. People will start calling for sale by owners. They've only got 20 people to call, and they're afraid to call them because if they say the wrong thing to the first 5, oh shit, if I say the wrong thing to the next 15, I'm screwed. Well, if I've got 480 people to call a day, I could get on the phone and say blah, 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 and it doesn't really matter. Because I got 479 other people to talk to. Problem number 2 is you're worried about what to say because you haven't made enough phone calls. There's only about 15 responses that you're going to hear from for sale by owners every single time you call. And if you know what they're going to say, you know what to say. You know what questions to ask. Now, I don't know if any of you saw my group that I posted on Workplace Facebook, for those of you that know what that is. I posted some questions, and I wanted to see what the responses were. I got to laugh at some of the responses because the responses are these long-ass responses to a simple question. If you want to get somebody to tune you out, give them a long response. Here's what you need to understand. For sale by owners have a certain personality type. They're usually a type A personality. Now, do we have any type A's in this session right here?
Yes.
Okay, so Irene, you're a type A. I'm a type A. Anybody else? Denise is a type A. Anybody else?
I'd say
That's it.
typically if you're an agent, you're a type A. I mean, that's,
No, not necessarily. No. Most buyer's agents are not a type A because they don't like the confrontation.
Compared to this,
A type A is a person who knows everything. They're in charge. It's my way or no way. I'm right. You're probably wrong all the time. And if you got to tell me something, just give me the bottom line. Don't give me any fluff. That's
so
a type A.
So it's like, and the this is a high D.
Yes,
Are you,
it's a high D. So here's what you got to understand. For the disc, most for sale by owners are a high D. That means if they ask you a question, do not give them the theoretical reason of and tell me why the clock works this way, how the clock was made, who made the clock, where it was manufactured, how it all works. If I ask you a question, give me the answer. That's how for sale by owners think. If you ask them a question, give me a one-line answer. Don't tell me how the whole damn clock is built. Many of you, when you hear a question from a for sale by owner, you're giving them 4 or 5 sentences. What I do instead is I answer their question with a question. You should never answer a for sale by owner's question. But if you answer it with a question, then you're now in control of the situation. Okay, does that make sense? We're going to go over this later in another class. Because I want y'all to understand that many of you will fail at for sale by owners because you don't have enough people to call and you don't know what to say when you talk to them. It's really that simple. If you can overcome having enough people to call and you're not afraid of calling because you know what to say, this will be the thing that you'll go after. I've been doing this for 17 years. There's hardly anything that I've ever heard that from a for sale by owner and that will stump me. Okay, the third thing I want to go over on how to get for sale by owners, and you're going to have to set this up because I can't remember how I did it because I did this so long ago that I'm afraid to go in and waste time looking to see how I did it. Next time you're on Google, set up a Google alert. It's called a Google alert, which means that you're going to set up an alert to notify you. And then the keywords that you're going to put in the Google alert is for sale by owner, for sale by owners, Colorado, for sale by owner, Michigan, whatever state you're in. And then every time a for sale by owner posts anything, you'll get an email because you set up your email. You'll get an email that day of the posting. It just comes automatically. So I've given you today 3 ways to get free leads. You have a $29 plan, $29 a year. You've got the Craigslist plan, which is free. And you've got the Google Alerts plan.
Robert, it says on the Cubic solution that it's $19.87 for a professional license.
That's even cheaper.
That's for the Android version. You probably want the PC version, which is $29.87.
Thank you for telling me that.
See how these type A's, they don't read the details. They just look at the overall.
Bottom line.
So the $29 plan is the Access Craigslist. It's the same data, right?
Say that again?
The $29 is the program who access Craigslist.
Yeah, it'll access Craigslist, Zillow, Backpage.
Oh, I see. Because it's more than Craigslist. I see. That's even better. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So that is today's. Even though we're early, that is where to get leads. If you are paying for RedX leads, I firmly believe you're wasting money. If you're paying for Zillow leads, again, you're wasting money. Because I'm just tell you a story. I sold a house in Texas 10 years ago. 10 years ago, I sold this house, this one particular house that I'm going to tell you this story about. Zillow will not remove this house from their ads.
Yeah.
I'm still getting calls on this one house because they haven't removed that it sold. So I got these Keller Williams people that are going through Zillow. Oops, I wasn't supposed to say the name. I hope there's no Keller Williams people on here. Sorry. I have these realtors that love red that are still calling me about a Zillow ad that sold 10 years ago. Not good. How much are they paying for that crap? Don't pay for that. It's crazy. Okay. Does anybody have any questions on leads for today? Gary Cook, you got anything? Gary is mute today. I'm going to pick on everybody. Let's pick on Gary. You got anything on?
I'm fine.
Okay, good.
Thank
Mr. Cottrell, you got anything you need to add?
No, just that's pretty awesome, man. Thanks. That's
Okay.
an amazing program.
Terry Touchtone, you've seen this before. Welcome to the rerun. You're on mute, Terry. Terry, you're on mute. Yo, Terry, you're on mute.
Yeah, thank you. I didn't know about the cubics. That's very interesting to know.
Do you have any questions?
No, I think I've got it.
Okay, so I want to address one thing that I talked about real quick so that y'all understand where I'm coming from. Now, I asked you, I'm hearing feedback. I think Terry, I'm hearing because Terry, mute yourself because I'm hearing feedback when you unmuted. Oh, okay. Oh, Terry, that was you. Okay. When I talked about going after the entire state, let me tell you why I'm talking about this. A lot of you are going after listings in your own city because you only have access to MLS in your own city. What if you could list a property that's 400 miles away from you and you don't have to go physically to that listing? Do you think it's possible to do that? Carlo?
Absolutely.
You think it's possible?
I believe so.
All right, so here's what I've done. I live in Florida. I'm licensed in Texas. Florida is 4 states away from Texas. I don't know if y'all know anything about geography. It's a 13-hour drive. There's no way in hell I'm going to drive 13 hours to go to a listing. It ain't going to happen. I just took on a buyer's agent in Austin. So what I'm going to do is I have hired a buyer's agent. I'm looking for a buyer's agent in Dallas, and I'm looking for one in Houston and in San Antonio. I'm going to start calling for sell by owners in the entire state. So let's say for Austin, I get a for sale by owner. He wants to sell his house. We have this wonderful program. I don't know if y'all have heard of it. It's called DocuSign. Have y'all heard of DocuSign?
Yep.
You know what DocuSign will do? You email the listing agreement, seller's disclosure, information about brokerage services to the seller. He signs it through DocuSign. Soon as he hits submit, I get that paperwork back. So then I call my buyer's agent and say, hey, we have a listing in Austin. So I need you to go put up your sign because we're with the same brokerage, and you put it on my listing. She puts it on her MLS in Austin because I gave her permission to put it on Austin MLS. So now it's on the Dallas MLS because I'm part of Netris, Dallas MLS. She's in Austin. She puts it in Dallas MLS. She puts a sign, because I make her co-listing agent with 0 commission on the listing. She gets 100% on the buyer's agent side. She puts up a sign, she puts on a lockbox, she starts getting calls. Listing sells, who makes money? Me.
Both of you.
Exactly. She gets all the buyers. Now, if she's a good buyer's agent, any sign calls that she gets, she will go show them other properties that don't fit the price range, which is probably going to happen. When my listing sells, I get my 3%. Now, why aren't y'all doing that? You're so
You are,
what?
a quick question. You are paying a referral fee, right?
For what? For
For
what?
putting the sign up and
No.
putting it in MLS?
No, even better than that. She's getting 100% of all the buyers. Remember, she's putting up her sign on my listing. She gets all the buyers. And she puts it on her MLS as if it's her listing because she's the co-listing agent. No referral fee. So it would be like me getting a listing in Colorado, and I call you, Irene, and I say, Irene, guess what? I've got some free buyers for you, but there's a small catch. I want you to put up your sign on this listing that I got and a lockbox. Any buyers that come through, you get them, and you keep all the commissions, and you don't pay me any referral fees. Would you take me up on that deal?
All day long.
Thank you. Irene, you don't get it, do you?
Kind of, sort of. I'm picturing our MLS, and we need to disclose the commission.
Disclose it to who?
Well, to that, well, okay, so the listing agent would be myself then. Okay, so
No, there's no conflict there.
We're the same brokerage. The brokerage
Just
that I'm with
right,
says that you
right.
got to be with the same brokerage to make this happen. Now, before I went to the brokerage that I'm with, I was calling for sell by owners, and I called this for sell by owner who was in Texarkana. For those of you who know anything about Texarkana, that's a weird name because it means Texas and Arkansas. I didn't know that it was in Arkansas. So I called this guy and he said, yeah, I'll list my house with you. He said, now you are in Arkansas, right? I said, oh shit, no, I'm not. So I called a realtor in Arkansas. I said, hey, I got a great deal for you. I've got a listing. I'd like for you to put up your sign. I'm going to make you co-listing agent. You get 0 commission on the listing side, but you get all the buyers. Will you do this? She goes, well, how much is the listing? I said, it's $6 million. She goes, oh, hell yeah. So I put it on the Dallas MLS and on the Arkansas MLS because now it's actually her listing, not mine. The referral agreement says that she's going to pay me 50% of the listing commission, and she gives me permission to put it on my MLS in Texas. So we split the commission. So here's what most of you are not doing, which is, and it's only because you haven't thought of this. Since you're licensed in the entire state, take advantage of the entire state. You don't have to go to people's houses to list their property. I haven't been to a listing appointment in 5 years.
really?
5 years. I'm in Florida. Do you think I'm going to drive to Texas to go to a listing appointment? Hell no. I don't care how much it is. I'm going to call somebody up. I'm going to say, hey, here's a listing for you. And you can do this with for sale by owners. You know why? Because they're bottom line people. All they care about is how much is it going to sell for? How long is it going to take you to sell it? And how much do I got to pay you? That's all they care about. They don't care whose sign is up there. There's been many times that I let the for sale by owner keep his for sale by owner sign up and just do a full listing on it. Now, I'm going to blow some of y'all's minds even more as we get more into this. I'm going to show you how to get more than the typical commission. So if you're charging, let's say, I'm going to throw a number. I'm not saying that some of you charge this amount. Let's say that some of you charge 6%. I'm going in at 7, and I'm getting 7 on a for sale by owner who are looking at flat fee listings, $500 flat fees. And once I tell them what I'm going to do for them, they're thinking, oh my God, yes, I'll do that. So here's my question for today. And then we have homework. I bet you're excited that you have homework. Let's pick on Terry Touchtone. No, let's pick on Denise. I want to pick on Denise. Denise, I can't see your entire head. Denise, I know that you're guilty of only going after people in your city. I know that for a fact. Why aren't you going after the whole state of Virginia?
Well, I am now, okay? So I am absolutely going to now. So you have taught me well.
Oh my God. Susan, how many
Yeah.
times have you heard this conversation about going after the entire state?
Lots.
And if you had names and telephone numbers, hundreds and hundreds, there's no reason why you can't call these people. And I'll tell you what to say when you start calling them. So since we have 10 minutes, let's open it up for questions and answers. Let's try to talk specifically on leads and going after listings in the entire state. That's really all I want to talk about today.
Robert, I have a quick question on your cubics. Most of the time, do you get the email and phone number of those people, or what percentage?
Most of the time, you're only going to get the phone number. So here's what you do. When you call the for sale by owner, here's what you say. Hello, Terry. This is Robert Russell. Do you have a minute?
Sure.
Hey, I was calling about your house. See that it's listed. How much are you asking for your house?
300,000.
Awesome. And how many bedrooms or bathrooms is it?
2 and 2.
2 and 2. Perfect. And I'm a realtor. Do you happen to have a seller's disclosure you can send to me?
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, give me your email address and I will send you one. And if you'll fill it out and send it back to me, that'd be great so I can forward it on to my buyers. What's your email address?
I'm not going to list it. I'm not ready to list it if that's what you're talking about.
Right. That's why I said I'm going to send you a seller's disclosure that I need you to fill out so I can send it to my buyers. What's your email address?
You broke up a little bit there. I didn't hear all of that.
I need your email address so that I can send the seller's disclosure to my buyers that I'm working with.
Oh, yeah. Well, you can send it to me. I'll think about it.
Okay, what's your email address?
Yada, yada.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Now, what I did is I just got Terry's email address. And now I'm going to start sending him an email campaign about listing his house. It's not going to be slap him in the face first email. It's going to be a very gradual process. It's like dating. When you go on a date, you don't try to get him into bed on the first date. It ain't going to happen. Well, it could happen. It probably shouldn't. So the process. Susan, what are you laughing at? What's so funny?
That's all good.
Okay. Did I say something wrong? All right, so anyway,
Maybe.
it's me you're talking to. So the process is when you're going after a owner, you've got to gradually get them to a point where you're talking them into the getting to the idea of thinking about listing it on MLS. And that's what the whole email campaign is going to be about, is why you want to use me as your realtor to put it on MLS. So that's why you got to get your first phone call is going to be getting the email address. So what I'm going to show you in future classes, you're going to have two lists of people that you're going to call. You're going to call people that you have an email address for, because that talk is going to be different. Then you've got the people that all you want is their email address so that you can move them from need email to got email. So for all the people that you don't have their email address, the only thing that you should ever be going after is to get their email address. Nothing else. Nothing else. Only email address. Once you've got their email address, then you can move them into a different conversation and start talking about listing their house. And I'll show you how to do that too. Does that make sense? This is going to be a process. If you think that you're going to call somebody on the first call and get their listing, stay away from for sale by owners. It ain't going to happen. Will not happen. Your success rate is going to be 0.02%. I mean, because you're going to suck big time. And if you're that good, then you can take over the next class next Thursday at 10 o'clock. Because it just ain't going to happen. So here's your homework. Homework is, are y'all ready?
Yep.
Susan, you know how adamant I am about homework. There's verbal abuse if you don't do homework.
There is.
Susan, is that true?
Absolutely.
You will be reamed if you don't do homework. So here's your homework. I gave you 3 sources to get leads. So I want you to use those 3 sources. You pick whichever one you want. You can use 1, you can use 2, you can use all 3. And I want you to report back to us next Thursday at 10 o'clock how many leads you were able to get for sale by owners in 1 week. That's it. I just need a number. So let me tell you what you can expect. I did this class with a certain brokerage that I'm affiliated with, and it was all on the same topic. 2 people were in Florida, 1 person was in Chicago. 2 of the people got 1,000 leads in 1 week using the same process I just showed y'all. The guy in Chicago got 900 leads in 1 week. Now, I'm not a mathematical giant, but 900 leads times 4 is how many? Susan, help me out here.
3,600.
3,600 for sale by owners in 1 month. That's a lot of leads that are free. Well, not free. $29 for a once-a-year program. And I make no money on that program, by the way. They tried to set me up an affiliate lead. I said, no, I don't want to mess with that. So that's your homework. Report back to us. Tell us how many leads you got. And then I'm going to show you what to do with those leads and how to start calling them. Okay? Any questions in the next 3 minutes? Anybody? Susan, anything?
Thank you.
Susan, you got a question?
No,
Denise?
I'm good.
I'm good. Thank you.
Gary Cook? Okay. James?
I see you're recording this. Are you going to share any of this with us?
Yeah, I'm going to send it to you. Even
Awesome.
the part that I wasn't supposed to record, I'm going to get that too. I'm going to try to, Carlo, I'm going to try to edit this for you. I had to edit a certain piece out of this, so I'm going to have to edit this. Irene, do you have any questions?
I'm good, thank you.
Terry? Hold on, Terry. Hold on. Okay, talk to me, Terry.
You said get the leads, so you're just talking about gathering them, but not doing anything with them, but just gather them and having them someplace.
You can start calling me if you want. I just want to know how many leads you were able to get by this process over 1 week, starting today all the way through next Wednesday, or through Thursday if you can get them before 10 o'clock next Thursday.
Okay.
Is that fair enough? Okay. Joseph Lamb, any questions?
Yes. When you do that search, you said you went 1 day back, so you always get the 1 day. So always the new listing is tomorrow you do it again. Will you get duplication?
Yeah, I'm going to do the same day. Like today, I'm going to do a search of everything that comes up today. And then tomorrow, I'm going to do another search of everything that comes up tomorrow. Now, the way...
so then you won't have any duplicate.
Right. Now, let me just say one more thing real quick. On Cubic Solution, it will not let you duplicate leads. So, in other words, if Joe Blow listed his house and he puts it on there, when you do a search tomorrow, it won't allow Joe Blow to be listed again twice. It won't allow duplicate names and numbers to come up there, which is a beautiful thing because you don't want to call those people every single day. And I'll show you how often to call them.
No duplication. Yeah, great. Thank you.
So are you running that search every day then? Is that my understanding on Cubics?
Mm-hmm. Well, okay. If you have time to follow up with that many people, I mean, that's a lot of people to follow up on.
Okay.
I mean, if you really realistically, I can only do this about 1 or 2 days a week because the names and numbers are just overwhelming. There's so many people to call, you just don't have time to call them all.
Right.
I mean, even if you can nail 1,000 people a day, you still gotta, take some time to send this stuff through DocuSign and put the listing in and all that other stuff. It's gonna take some time.
Sure.
You can, if y'all will follow this system, you can easily get 10 for sale by owner leads a month. Easily. Easy. 10 a month. Denise, you could even do 11 because you're Denise Blevins.
I'll try to do 11.
Okay, good. That's a good number. Person who is calling in, do you have any questions?
That's Brenda.
Are you speaking to me? Brenda, yeah. Well, I wanted to know about the do not call. That's the question that I have. Is
great
numbers,
question.
have they been scrubbed for do not call?
That's a great question. So here's my answer. Brenda, are you a buyer?
Am I a buyer?
Uh-huh.
No, I'm a realtor.
Oh, okay. So you don't live in a house. You live in a tent. You live outside. You're homeless. Is that what you're telling me?
No, sir. I do live in a house.
You live in a house.
Yes,
so
sir. I do.
Is it possible? I mean, small possibility that if you found a great deal on a house, that you could realistically be a buyer. Yes or no?
It's a possibility that I could be a buyer.
Awesome.
But it's
so
not
when they say, do you have a buyer? Here's my answer. Remember, I don't answer questions to for sale by owners. When they say, do you have a buyer? I ask them, do you know where realtors live? No, where? We live in houses. That's all I say. I don't need to tell them whether I'm the buyer or not. Because here's the way I look at it. If I do have a buyer, then I can call them. If I'm the buyer, I can call them. If somebody's listed a $200,000 house and they're selling it for $100,000, I can guarantee you I'm a buyer. So that's how we get away with the do not call list. Now, you can go through the do not call list and weed out a bunch of names and telephone numbers, but in my mind, I'm a buyer. I'm a legitimate buyer. Does that answer your question?
It answers my question.
Okay. So if I had a $200,000 house and I'm a seller for $100,000, are you a buyer?
I'm a buyer, but maybe for that house, but maybe not for that house.
Exactly. But you don't know until you get information, right? Like a seller's disclosure?
Well, it just concerns me because you have severe penalties on do not call. And if someone does report that, then you can pay a heavy fee. That's my only concern. is making
$10,000.
sure that they're- Yes,
$10,000.
per time.
Well,
per
But
time.
can I comment on that?
I'd
Go
like
ahead.
to comment
Please
on
do.
that.
Okay. My comment on that is this. Why are they putting out their contact information if they don't want anybody to call them?
Good morning. I've been doing this. I've been selling insurance for 32 years. Real estate for 18 years. I have never bothered about the do not call list. Ever. So don't let that scare you. If you're scared of that, then you probably need to get out of real estate. That might hurt your feelings, but that's just the way I feel about it. Okay. So it's 11:04. Thank y'all very much. You get your homework, and we will talk to you next week.
Thank you, Robert.
Thank you. Bye-bye now.
Bye
Bye.
bye. Merry
Thank
Christmas.
you.
Hey, you
Bye.
take